All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming this afternoon. Brian Fort, CEO of the Carolina Hurricanes organization. We're here today just to, on behalf of Tom Dundon and the whole Carolina Hurricanes Lenovo Center organization, we want to welcome 3 new investors, Brett Jefferson, Bobby Farnham, and Mark Grandison, into Tom Dundon's ownership group over the Hurricanes. And I've got the opportunity over the last several months to meet these guys. We were very, very excited to have them as part of our team. All 3 of them have a real passion for hockey, and they all kind of come to the game throughout their lives, but from different perspectives, so I think that's really helpful. They've also been, all 3 of them have been extremely successful in business and investing, so we're excited what they can bring to our team from that perspective and help us continue to grow and be ready to pursue a Stanley Cup going forward. So really what we want to do today is just let our fans and the greater Raleigh area get to know these guys a little bit, put a face with the story. So what we'll do is let each of them go ahead and give just a little bit of an intro about themselves, and then feel free to ask any questions. So Brett, you want to get started?
Sure. I'm Brett Jefferson. I live in Durham. I moved here in 2023. I have 3 children. I'm married. My wife Kathy, daughter Izzy's in the back. I run a firm called Hillian Capital Management, which is relocating to Durham. Most of the investment professionals have moved out.
Bobby Farnham. Happy to be here, and obviously was a hockey player for a lot of my professional life, and have pivoted a little bit since and done a few different things now, but super fortunate to be here and with this organization and everyone I've met so far. Just really excited to get going here.
Hi, my name is Mark Grandison. I literally moved to Raleigh this past Saturday from Bermuda, where I lived for 24 years. I was last as a CEO of a company that was an S&P 500 company. Being French Canadian, I'm a huge hockey fan. Dream come true for me from a young age as a boy to really participate in the league. That's been tremendous, and very, very impressed by everybody here, including Tom and Tom Dundon, obviously, Rod Brandamore and Eric Tolsky. I mean, what they've done with the Carolina Hurricanes is phenomenal, and very excited to see the team do so well this year and for years to come. We have so many contracts for a long time, so it's pretty exciting. For me, my wife, who just moved recently, I got 3 daughters, also hockey fans, so very happy to be here, guys.
All right, we'll take questions. Just use the mic, please.
Brian, can you just tell us how this process started of trying to locate minority ownership, and when Tom decided that was something he was interested in doing?
I think Tom has thought about for a long time whether he wanted to bring in minority ownership or if there was a good time to do it, and I think he was always looking for the right people, and if he found the right group of folks to come into the team, then that would be the right time. And he was connected to some of these people through different means, 5, 6, 7 months ago, and just decided that the time was right after getting to know them a little bit better.
For any of the 3 of you, is the attraction and appeal of doing this connected to the idea of it's a great investment, or is it connected to the idea that I'd like to be involved with a Major League Sports franchise? And Bobby, your circumstances are a little bit different. Maybe you can speak to that. Any of you, though.
Sure. I mean, for me, obviously there's a passion piece of this, and I think hockey has been such a big part of my life that was a driving force. I also think, and I say this very biased, but I think there's a ton of white space for growth in the hockey world. So from that perspective, I think this league is on the up and up, and I think that it's going to be a tremendous opportunity. Obviously, you look at this investment, and there's a return at some point, probably long term, that you're cognizant of. But I think to me, it was the perfect opportunity, and I just felt very fortunate to be in a position to do it.
For me, hockey was my first love, and it's what I wanted to be. One day I wanted to join an elite team. My mom said we don't have the money and I don't have the time to try this, so I became a lacrosse player. But my high school was outside of Hartford. Hartford Whalers used to practice at my high school. I used to go see the Hartford Whalers play. And living outside of New York to go see the Rangers play, it took me 2.5 hours to get there each way. And one day I said, there's got to be more to life. And we moved here. It takes me 20 minutes. I can take my daughter on school day. So I finally have a team. I've waited a really long time to have a team. I saw him play 41 times live last year. I really am really upset on the last day. But I'm really happy the next day that I can be upset. Because you don't always have that. So I'm not just looking to invest in any sports team. I want to invest in the team that is my team. And I think more importantly, the way that Tom runs his team, does things a little bit differently, isn't afraid to think outside the box. This isn't a vanity play for him, I can tell you that. This is a really impressive investment opportunity. But it's also something which, for me, I called Tom on my 60th birthday and I said, I'd like to buy myself a birthday present. He said, what's that? I'm like, well, I'd like to buy that team, part of your team. He said, well, okay, that's all right. So it was a while ago. This took a long time.
I think from my perspective, echo what both of them said. I think this is not an investment like you invest in a stock, right? This is really a long-term commitment. This is a commitment that will last in our family for years and years. Thomas said more than once to me, and I'm sure to you guys, that he has no interest in staying in the team. I will tell you, we have no interest as a family to do anything with that investment. This is something. So to me, the investment is more like this is the price to pay to really be part of that team, participate in it, and contribute to it. That's just something that was one thing as well. So most of us here, we want to get involved as well and help Tom and the team and all of the executives the best way we can to make it better because we love the team, we love the game, and that's really what it's all about.
Okay, thanks. A couple quick ones and then a longer one. You said 60. How old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
60.
How long ago was
60.
Oh, okay.
This wasn't going on for more than a year.
Okay, all right. Are you guys all invested individually or are you invested collectively?
Each one of us is individually.
Okay. And then the longer term question, you kind of mentioned it. What do you think you can bring to, whether it's the executive side or the hockey side? Are there things that, parts of the franchise you're most interested in getting involved in?
For me, we just talked about with Brian just before this meeting. There's a lot of things that could be done, and if you know Tom Dundon, there's always things to improve, things to get the team better. And that's not only on the ice, that's also the operations and everybody around that makes this thing work. Ran a company of 7,000 employees. I think I could probably help in a few areas to help, or just also represent the team locally. Talk to Brian, be more present, and try to attract more investors, more people to the game. If you get the passion and the ability to think about the business, I think that should be a good thing. And Tom is a businessman, first and foremost, very, very good at that. So that is a great place for me at least to be able to operate and do what I've done for 35 years.
I guess where I can help is my firm. We are an asset manager, a reinsurance company, and an insurance company. So we have an insurance company balance sheet, which usually can give good long-term funding. We have strong connections all throughout the financial world and Wall Street. So I know everyone's talking about Major League Baseball and development that's going to go on here. There's probably going to be some need for that. I'm not really looking to advise Eric Tulsky on what he should do because I think he's very good. But I'm more than happy when asked to voice my opinion.
I'd say from my perspective, these guys, I'm sitting next to these business executives here, Brian, Brett, and Mark, and feel lucky to learn from them through the process already, to be invested in the team. I think there's a lot more that I can learn on the business side. From a hockey standpoint, it's something like, we talk about investment and if it's passive or active, and I'm not really a passive person, so if there's a point that you can add incremental value on the hockey side, and I don't know what that looks like yet, I would love to do so. A ton of respect for what Eric's built and his front office and the way that Rod coaches and watching the team. They have a phenomenal team, so it's just being able to impact that maybe just a little bit if there's opportunity is where, I'd like to on the hockey side, because that's the side I know best.
Bobby, as a player, when does the transition, or when did the thoughts of becoming an investor type of thing, how does that kind of?
It's honestly, it's a great question until, you had some of these conversations in the sports world about investing, and I was just like kicking tires, and then it's like, you hear about this, and it's like, wow, this is pretty interesting. Then you talk to Tom, and it's like, oh my gosh, he's very passionate. This is a great organization. You start to meet some people, and it's like, becomes real. I don't know if that really answers it well. It's still kind of surreal in itself, but it's challenging stepping off the ice from a playing career and then trying to figure everything out. Like, it's a very difficult thing to do when you're so singularly focused for so long. And now to have this opportunity and, like I said, sit next to these guys, learn from them, and also bring some potential value in the hockey side is what I'd like to try to do.
Brian, for you, obviously you have the baseball thing, the development around here, and obviously we've heard Tom's interested in buying the Blazers, or at least closing on that deal. How much of this was about getting capital for some of those other projects that Tom's involved in, that the Hurricanes are involved in, and how much of it was simply about trying to bring some new blood into the organization?
I think it was mostly just about bringing new perspective into the organization. Tom has a lot of business interests, both in the sports world and outside of the sports world. Having these guys involved on the development side would be great too. I mean, the team has the development rights, so anything that the team is doing outside, they're going to be involved with that as well.
Is this for you, Bobby, a special? The Penguins, you played a handful of games with them, played with Sid and Gino and Letang and all those guys. Is that special? And then second, are you gonna like Weasley your way into the alumni game? How is that?
I don't know. It's special. Pittsburgh's very special just because that was kind of the organization that gave me a shot. And it was like, it's when I actually started to really respect like the business of sports too. I was a guy that didn't really have a shot at playing in the NHL. Probably wasn't on many radars. Definitely would not have been signed by Carolina with the way they look at data and analytics. And so Pittsburgh to give me a pipeline and give me a path. Cool to be here and see them play and still see those guys going, at the clip they are. And then, the second question, I don't know. Like I love still getting out there and skating. I love the dressing room. It's a huge part of the game. It's a huge part of the culture of the game. They obviously have a great dressing room downstairs. That's super important, and you can tell by like the cohesion the guys playing the ice. So just like I said, very excited. Good.
All right, thanks everyone.